Hey guys, welcome to linguamarina. I just took TOEFL, yes, again. I took it for the third time in my life. The first time I took it was in 2015 and today is 2024. In this video, not only am I going to tell you why I took the TOEFL test, I will also talk about how you should be prepared to take TOEFL this year. And I will also tell you how you can take your TOEFL for free. So if you're interested in taking TOEFL, if you understand that this is the test that is going to open new educational and career doors for you, please watch this video up to the very end. First of all, let me tell you why I took the TOEFL test. So as you know, in 2015, I was applying to get my MBA in the US, and the two tests that I had to take were the GMAT and the TOEFL. So I successfully took the TOEFL test. I scored 117 out of 120, and I was actually able to get into my dream MBA programs. I got full ride scholarships, but at the same time, our startup Lingua trip received an investment from a Silicon Valley firm. So we moved to the US to grow our startup, but I decided to give up my dreams of getting my education in the US. The second time I took the test was actually during COVID, when ETS reached out and asked me to test their new home edition test. And I was like, why couldn't you guys launch it earlier? There are some good things that we got out of COVID. Now you can take all the standardized tests at home. Remember, I don't know how long you have been watching this channel, but I had to travel to another country to take my GMAT because I couldn't take it in St. Petersburg because all the spots were fully booked. For TOEFL, I was able to take it in St. Petersburg, in my hometown. So fast forward almost 9 years from the first time I took TOEFL. It's 2024, we've been running our company. My husband became the CEO because I stepped down from being in operations when we had our first baby. Then we had our second baby, my YouTube career took off. I was recently in bed and I couldn't sleep at night, and I was thinking, like, what if I had all the money on earth? What would I do? What is my ideal career? Doing research? Academics? Teaching? And this answer came right away. I really want to still try and get some kind of education at an American university. Ideally, something connected with research, because I feel like I have enough knowledge right now to run a company. I have enough knowledge to build a media company, but I have no experience in doing research, and my granddad is a professor in physics. My dad teaches an MBA program. My other granddad is also a professor. So I come from an academic background. And I found this perfect program at Stanford, which is a 15-minute drive from my house. It's not a program where you have to study from 9 to 9. It's actually a research-based program. So this is why I took the TOEFL test. Please keep fingers crossed for me. I will keep you updated. And let me know if you have any questions about that program. Please comment down below. I don't know how much you're interested in that particular part of my life right now. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about is the test itself. First of all, God bless ETS. The test is now under 2 hours. I remember when I first took it, it was over 3 hours. It was really intense. It was really hard for me to focus because I was surrounded by people taking the test. They constantly had questions. Something would drop. Someone would exit the room. During the speaking part, everyone was speaking. Like, that was so distracting. Taking tests from home is the best you can do, and taking a 2-hour test is even better. Now let's take a look at what actually changed. First of all, they removed all the unscored parts. Earlier, when you took TOEFL test, they would sometimes give you an extra test or an extra listening task. And some of those extra tasks were not scored, but you never knew which one wasn't scored. So you just had this extra burden of tasks that you had to go through. Now they removed that, and the reading section actually became a lot smaller. You used to have 3 to 4 reading passages because of those unscored texts. Now you only have 2. And reading part has always been the hardest for me. It's always really hard to concentrate. You have to be very careful about every single detail in the text. And I'm glad it's only 2 reading passages now, 10 questions each, 36 minutes, which gives you 1.8 minutes to answer each question, which is kind of enough for me. Again, I did the same trick I did with all my tests. I answered some questions, but I memorized them, and I went back at the end of the reading section and I was like, let me look at this question with a fresher-ish mind, and I changed my answer last minute. I was able to score 30 out of 30. This is something I've done twice now. This trick really helps me. If you have a question where you have doubts, complete the section. But then if you have some time left, go back to the question with which you've struggled, and maybe you change something and that would be the right answer. So I did that, 30 out of 30. But yes, the section used to be over an hour. Now it's only 36 minutes. Now, when it comes to listening, no more unscored questions. So this part became shorter. 3 lectures, 3 to 5 minutes each, 6 questions each, 2 conversations, each lasts for 3 minutes, 5 questions each. 36 minutes total, 15 to 18 minutes to answer all the questions. So you have around 30 to 40 seconds to answer each question. My key takeaway for the listening part is that you just have to be attentive to every single detail. So I scored 28 out of 30 on listening because there was this moment when I was tired. And for the test, you can't use pen and paper. You have to use like a mini whiteboard with a marker. When I wrote things, first of all, you can't write much because the marker is really thick. But when you erase things from your whiteboard, you get this black residue. And I kind of started worrying that it's gonna damage my white desk. And this is what I started thinking about during the test. Never do that. So I started thinking about that and I missed a sentence. And of course, there was a question about that sentence. Like, why were the bees mentioned by the teacher? And I remember she mentioned them, but I also remember that at that particular second, I was worried about my desk. So, tip for you, just be attentive. Some people would say, yes, it's important to take notes, but for me, I kind of use them, but they also help me stay focused because when you're taking notes, you follow the conversation. So only take notes if you're comfortable with contractions, if you can write those notes fast. We have the whole course where we teach how to do that, how to effectively take notes for your listening part. I will leave the link to this course below, but it's really important that you're concise and that you listen to every single detail in the test. Now, when the listening part was over, there was no break. So they removed the break, which was actually fine because now the first part is shorter and then starts the speaking section where you actually relax. Now here, speaking, spoiler alert, I got 30 out of 30, super proud of that. But when I was actually taking the speaking test, I stumbled, I said something and then I said it again and then I made a mistake and I caught myself making that mistake and I tried to correct it. So I didn't sound like myself at all. When I record these videos, I don't normally pause a lot. I just talk and talk and talk. Of course, when you realize that you're in a test setting, when they ask you a question, you're like, oh my God, what's going on? So I was nervous, but I like how they grade you in the section. They're actually okay with you stumbling. They're okay with you making minor mistakes. You can still get a perfect grade even if you make a couple of mistakes. So don't worry during your speaking section. That would be my top tip. And another tip, of course, use the templates. Memorize them prior to the test. And for every question, there is a template that you can use to structure your answer. And again, you can find all the templates using the link below. In general, there are no changes to the speaking part. It remained the same as in 2014. When it comes to the writing part, again, it's shorter. It used to be 50 minutes. Now it's 30 minutes, 2 writing tasks, 1 integrated task, 20 minutes, and 1 academic discussion task, 10 minutes. The texts are shorter, the whole structure is easier, and again, because it's just 30 minutes, suddenly the test is over. So here I got 27 out of 30, and this is my weakest part. I was never able to get 30 out of 30 on writing, and I know why, because my writing speech, my spoken language is a little less complicated than what the standards for the test are. I don't really use a lot of complicated structures when I talk. I don't use too many advanced idioms and advanced vocabulary. This is something I will try to improve while I'm at Stanford, hopefully. When I do my research, of course, my language is going to become more academic. So all in all, if you're taking TOEFL this year, it's much more relaxed. It's just 2 hours, but still be ready to stay focused for a long time. 2 hours is still a lot. And please practice with taking mock tests, maybe a couple times before you take the actual test, just to develop the stamina, just to develop this energy to stay focused for 2 hours. Really try it. We don't normally do that in our real life. We take breaks more often. So that would be my main tip. And now the most important thing, how you can take TOEFL for free in 2024. When I took TOEFL in 2014, I got an opportunity award from the US government. That award covered all of the expenses associated with the admissions. So they covered the cost of my TOEFL test, they covered the cost of my GMAT. But the application process was really long. You had to prove that you found programs in the US with full ride scholarships. You had to prove that those universities confirmed that you have a chance of getting a full ride scholarship. So it was overall complicated. And I thought, what if there is a scholarship that allows people in general who are motivated to take the TOEFL test, take it for free? So I decided to partner with ETS, the company behind TOEFL test, and we decided that we're gonna give out several tests for free. What you need to do is fill out the application form. My company, LinguaTrip, and I will process those forms. Our goal is to have the most motivated students take this test this year, apply to the university of their dreams or get a job of their dreams, and share the story with others to inspire them to learn English and achieve their goals. So if you're willing to take the TOEFL test this year, if you know the score that you need, if you know why you need to take it, follow the link down below, fill in the application form, and by the end of May, we're going to decide who is getting those scholarships. And I will announce here in the community tab, and will also reach out to every individual student who wins during the process. If you're selected, not only will you get a free TOEFL IBT test voucher, but also a voucher for one of TOEFL's test-ready new products, either a section test, section practice, or focused practice. Fingers crossed for you. I would like to thank ETS for providing this amazing opportunity. And you know, I always wanted to do some kind of charity work for people across the globe to get access to education and tests. And I feel like this is a great first step in this process. Hopefully, I will be able to partner with more programs for you guys so you can get your education and your tests for free. But this is something that I got 10 years ago that helped me change my life, that helped me, you know, start this channel, because my first video on this channel is about the TOEFL test. So I keep fingers crossed for you guys. I'm looking forward to reading your applications, and I'm looking forward to seeing your success stories after you pass the TOEFL test. Thank you so much. Please share this video with anyone you know who's taken the TOEFL test. Maybe it's their chance to take it for free. Bye.